Welcome everybody to YouTube Wrestling Champion World Trinity Morris here. Hold on one second. Sorry, I was watching Gamer Gauntlet on the show Up Up Down Down. Please subscribe to Xavier Woods' channel Up Up Down Down. It's gaming. It includes WWE superstars and punishments, especially with Gamer Gauntlet. And you get to see reviews of anime and Superstar Save Point with people like Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Bayley, all these great WWE superstars that you guys see in the background. And you guys are wondering, Tony, what are you watching? Well, since Royal Rumble is January 2018, live on the WWE Network for just $9.99, and we also got really great matches going on. We had the Women's Royal Rumble. We have the Men's Royal Rumble. We have Brock versus Braun versus Kane in a triple threat for the Universal title. And we have a handicap WWE Championship match between the phenomenal AJ Styles against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. But that's not why I'm here. That will come down the road, but not just yet. I know this is late, but we are doing a top 11 moments of 2017 in the WWE. Now, I made a list a month ago, and I wanted to upload it, but with all the stuff that was going on, I didn't get a chance to record it or upload it. Seth Rollins is going down to face CM Punk at number 1 and number 2, as this is the 2014 Royal Rumble where Batista won. And spoilers ahead if you guys haven't seen it, but sorry. Go watch it on WWE Network. It's actually a really great Royal Rumble. I actually really liked it. This is when the Shield was around. But Shield ain't going to be as much without Dean at the Rumble. But anyways, onto the priority at hand. And this is the honorable mentions. I have the 11 moments right here on the computer, but we are going to do the honorable mentions. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 honorable mentions in this. First one was Paige's return. Now, we're going to talk about all the stuff. Actually, no, there's one more on the back, but I'm going to say that very last. But Paige's return, I did not see coming. I thought she'd go back to NXT, do a few matches, and then go to WWE with Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville and take over like the Riot Squad. But no, she went on to the main roster, came with Mandy Rose and Sarah Logan's with Riot Squad with Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott. Sonya Deville, Paige, and Mandy Rose. But they're a really great team. I like the way they're doing with Paige, and hopefully them three are going to be in the Rumble, and maybe we'll see Riot Squad versus Absolution. We'll never know. Enzo and Cass's breakup / Big Cass's heel turn. This I saw coming, but it was still shocking to me, and it was one of the saddest breakups in the WWE so far in 2017. It was really upsetting to see. The other one I have on here is even more upsetting. It's the most shocking yet saddest breakup to see in tag teams. But Enzo and Cass really was a great team. A lot of people liked them. They were trending. The merchandise was going off the roof with the How You Doing shirts and the Bada Boom shirts. They were a really great tag team. A lot of people thought they deserved tag team titles from NXT. I even thought they deserved to be NXT Tag Team Champions before they came to the main roster. But they did great with the main roster, feuding against the Dudleys, facing Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho, fighting people like the Revival, Blake and Murphy, the Vaudevillains, and they just had really great chemistry together. And then to see them break up was very shocking to see. But everybody kind of predicted, it's either going to be the Revival or it's going to be Cass. Some people just thought it was the Revival or the Big Show. But I kind of knew it was going to be Big Cass all along, but it was still very shocking to see that how they played it along, but they did play it on very well. Bray Wyatt's WWE title victory. Now, this was very happy to see. I mean, if you see, I was just seeing who's coming in. It's Cody Rhodes at number 4. But Bray Wyatt, he definitely earned his WWE title. In the Elimination Chamber, it was a very good match. You had AJ, you had Cena, who was the WWE Champion after beating AJ Styles at the Rumble. You had Randy Orton. You had a big array of WWE superstars that definitely deserved a title shot and definitely deserved to be champions. But Bray Wyatt definitely deserved to be champion, but they could have made the WrestleMania match between him and Randy Orton a lot better. I mean, it was in my least favorite match at WrestleMania in history, and I just really couldn't get to it, and it just really couldn't compare to what happened, and then when it happened, it just really kind of made me happy. I mean, to see Cena's WWE title and a reign end of his 16th was kind of upsetting, but to see Bray Wyatt win his first WWE title was actually a really deserving moment for him, and he earned it definitely, and he needed to be champion one day. I mean, especially after all he went through with Husky Harris, and as he was in the new Nexus, and then became Bray Wyatt and started feuding with Cena, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, and Roman Reigns, and all these other guys, and not get a WWE title shot was kind of stupid. I mean, he won the tag team titles with Randy Orton, and then all of a sudden American Alpha took the titles, or it was a different tag team. I don't remember which one it was. It's 5:30 in the morning. I'm recording this, but kind of wanted to record this. But he definitely deserved that title victory, but he should have deserved a better WrestleMania match at WrestleMania 33 against Randy Orton. John Cena and Nikki Bella's engagement. Did not see it coming, but it was great to see Cena do this. I mean, Cena's done a lot of things that a lot of WWE legends have done. Like, he tied with Ric Flair's record. He main evented WrestleMania a lot, like Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan. He won 2 Royal Rumbles like Hogan and Michaels. He beat The Rock in a passing of the torch match like Rock did with Hogan. He did a lot of stuff like Austin did. And then to see him do what the Macho Man Randy Savage has been able to do, but this time at WrestleMania, was perfect to see. I mean, people thought, oh, it's so predictable. I thought he was going to do it on Total Bellas. I thought he probably would do it like after WrestleMania or before. I didn't think he was going to do it on live at WrestleMania. The next one is NXT to main roster debuts. Now, a couple of these I did not see coming. I thought some of them would stay in NXT and keep going. Like Samoa Joe, I thought he'd stay in NXT just a little bit longer and then go. Nakamura, I already knew they were going to probably throw him into the main roster after Mania. Bobby Roode, I did not see coming. I thought after he lost to Drew McIntyre, he would try to go back for the title and lose to Adam Cole and then move to the main roster. But no, they didn't. And then the Revival, we haven't seen him ever since, but that was a great debut after WrestleMania. We had a lot of main roster debuts from Asuka. Asuka's debut could have done better, but it was still a really great debut to see. As Jack Swagger's entering the Royal Rumble at it's only number 7. But it was just a really great debuts this year. really great superstars in her of the main roster that a lot of people were waiting to see. Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate. NXT Takeover Chicago. The best match of the night. For the UK title, it's Tyler Bate defending against Pete Dunne, the Bruiserweight. For the UK title, hold on, I'm going to do this. Sorry, I cannot have my hair in the way, but I kind of like this hat. My Avenged Sevenfold hat. But, to see that match was actually really amazing. It was one of the best matches I've seen this year for NXT, and they literally blew the house down. That was the only reason why I wanted to see NXT Takeover Chicago, along with the Office of Pain versus DIY in Chicago. But it was a really great match, really great high spots, and I hope to see Tyler Bate versus Pete Dunne maybe on the main roster one day, maybe a WrestleMania match for the UK title. DIY's breakup. Ciampa's heel turn. The most shocking NXT moment in history. Besides maybe one or two that are on the main one, on the main list. But it was the most shocking breakup. But I really wanted to put it on this list, but there are so many moments that happened last year, that were so amazing, that were just so great, that I had to put DIY in the honorable mentions. Because DIY's breakup it really jerked a lot of people's emotions. It made some people cry. Just to see Ciampa betray Johnny Gargano was really, how should I say, shocking. There were some other words, but I just can't say them. But they were really shocking to see Gargano be betrayed like that, and then to see him, anytime he sees like a DIY shirt, he would get distracted and then lose a match, like he did with Andrade Cien Almas. But Ciampa hasn't been in the ring ever since. I know he's injured, but hopefully Gargano and Ciampa can probably continue their rivalry on the main roster, or probably continue it on NXT and then move to the main roster with the rivalry. But I don't know. I would like to see how it goes. The last one. I know this is a comic relief one, as Jimmy Uso enters at number 9. This is the one dishonorable moment that I have to mention. The women's Money in the Bank ladder match. The worst match of 2017. They had a lot of hype build up to it. There was a lot of botch moments into it that just really hurt them. And I was really anticipating for this match, hoping that the Money in the Bank ladder match would be a lot more better. But instead, they gave us James Ellsworth grabbing the briefcase and just dropping it down to Carmela. That was just a pinnacle moment in that match that just really pissed off a lot of people, and I hope they never do it again. Thank God James Ellsworth is released, because after that moment, I wanted James Ellsworth fired, because that was just so unfair. But they did have a match just to make up for it on SmackDown, and thankfully Carmela won it fairly this time. So I forgave Carmela, but I cannot forgive James Ellsworth for that. I don't know why I'm yawning. I've been tired. Alright. We have 11 moments in this and I'm going to try to make it quick, but I'm also going to try to make it explainable. These matches beat all of the honorable mentions. The honorable mentions had a fight between some of these moments that hit the spot, but these moments won. Number 11, Woken Matt Hardy. Something we've been wanting to see ever since they became WWE superstars again. Ever since we saw the Hardy Boys return, we have been waiting to see the Hardy Boys be broken, and while Jeff is away with an injury, Matt is woken. I mean, they finally settled the lawsuit. All the stuff that TNA that happened with Impact Wrestling goes to the Hardys. So anything that they want to do with the Hardys at WWE, the Hardys can suggest, and it could happen. That's how the broken gimmick became woken. They didn't want to settle on a different idea, but it happened. Checking my phone real quick. I'm sorry. My phone won't shut up. Anyways, it was really good to see Woken Matt Hardy, and it's great to see Woken Matt Hardy, and I hope they do a lot with him. And maybe start a feud with Jeff again. Maybe have a Woken Matt Hardy versus Jeff Hardy match at WrestleMania. We never know. It could happen, as Kofi Kingston's about to make a save at Mania. You guys remember this one. This one was one of my favorites. My favorite one is when he was on the chair in 2013. That was my favorite. The next one, Sami Zayn's heel turn. I did not see this coming. I thought when Hell in a Cell happened, I thought Shane McMahon was actually going to land his very first jump off the cell ever since he fought The Undertaker. I thought he was actually going to land this time. And boy, was I wrong. All of a sudden, I see Kevin Owens move out of the way. I didn't know what happened. All of a sudden, I see Sami Zayn. It blew my mind that I saw Sami Zayn pull Kevin Owens out of the way after what Kevin Owens did to Sami Zayn. I mean, if you remember Sami and Kevin's NXT days, when Kevin Owens debuted and Sami Zayn became NXT champion, he beat Adrian Neville, to be exact, for the NXT title at NXT Takeover Our Evolution. In the main event, Kevin Owens betrayed him, stabbed him in the back, and almost ended his career. Almost ended his career 3 times in a row. One after he won the NXT title. Wake up. One during the NXT title match. And then one more time at NXT just to make sure Sami Zayn wasn't going to make a return to WWE main roster while Kevin Owens was trying to be champion at NXT. I mean, in the WWE main roster. But thankfully, Sami Zayn did it. But in the end, all of a sudden, we see Sami Zayn pull Kevin Owens off, cost Shane McMahon the victory, put Shane McMahon in defeat, as we had Shane McMahon get pinned after he landed after he landed on the table, after jumping off the cell and failing. But it was a great match, but it just really shocked me to see Sami Zayn lose. The next one is a toss-up. They're both matches from NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3. They both made great matches. They were both incredible. They both had me on the edge of my seat, screaming, cheering, waiting to see what would happen. And they're both title matches. It's Sanity versus the Authors of Pain for the NXT Tag Team titles. That was a great match. I really enjoyed it. Sanity winning the Tag Team titles was one of the greatest tag team title victories in NXT history. And then Bobby Roode versus Drew McIntyre for the NXT title at NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3 was one of the greatest NXT title matches I have seen. And the only one that beats it is Nakamura versus Joe at NXT Takeover Brooklyn 2. That match was incredible. But Roode versus McIntyre would have me on the same way as I did for Nakamura and Joe at NXT Takeover Brooklyn 2 and at the Barclays Center. And I hope if they do an NXT Takeover Brooklyn 4, I hope they amp up the level the same way they did with Roode and McIntyre and Nakamura and Joe. And plus, those matches led to debuts of the Undisputed Era. I don't know how they do it. I think it's this and this. No, I think it's this and this. The Undisputed Era. if you guys know who it is. Number 8, Seth Rollins versus Triple H at WrestleMania 33. The greatest match at WrestleMania 33. That was the greatest match. Their entrances could have done a lot better. Seth Rollins' entrance was great. Triple H came out with a police escort on his chopper with Stephanie McMahon on the back. Seth Rollins came out with a torch and put it into the entrance ramp, and fire came down, which started the burn it down thing as Seth Rollins slayed the king of kings, the game. And we saw Stephanie McMahon go through a table. We saw Seth Rollins hurt his knee a little bit, but in the end, Seth Rollins won the match. And that match was so incredible. I really loved seeing it. I mean, there's only one moment that beats it at WrestleMania, but we'll get to that later. Number 7, John Cena and Roman Reigns' War of Words. Those promos between John Cena and Roman Reigns at No Mercy, before No Mercy, not at No Mercy, but before No Mercy, were just so incredible. Kofi Kingston's making another save. Were just so incredible that they became real. They started talking about real life issues that really dropped the bar and raised it really high on promos. As here comes Kevin Nash at number 14. But those were some of the best promos I've ever seen, especially the contract signing between John and Roman. For No Mercy, it was one of the greatest promos I've ever seen on Raw. The greatest promo I've ever seen in WWE. Like, that actually got really real. And I really enjoyed it. Number 6 is Adam Cole's debut. This is the reason why it's at why Sanity versus Authors of Pain and Rude and McIntyre were at number 9. If Adam Cole didn't debut, those matches would have been at number 6, and probably DIY's break would probably be at number 9. But Adam Cole made one of the greatest debuts in NXT history. Along with Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish came out of nowhere and attacked Sanity and the Authors of Pain after the match. And then you see the Undisputed Era, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, come out after Drew McIntyre won the NXT title. And then you see Adam Cole attack Drew McIntyre from behind. And all three of them gave him a super kick. And hopefully Adam Cole wins the NXT title one time. I hope he's the one who wins it from Cena almost. Or it's Roderick Strong that does it. Or it's Johnny Gargano. One of those three I hope wins. Or Aleister Black wins the NXT title from him. And if you've seen my video of me reacting to how Adam Cole came out, I was shocked. Like, that moment really blew my mind. I love seeing Adam Cole when he was with the Bullet Club, and then seeing Marty Scurll replace him, and him get kicked out. I didn't know what was going to be his future with wrestling. I thought he was going to go to Ring of Honor, or he was going to go to Impact Wrestling. But then seeing him go to WWE was just amazing. Number 5 is the greatest match that ever happened in NXT history. Was War Games. It was between Sanity, Authors of Pain, and Roderick Strong, and the Undisputed Era between Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly. Authors of Pain, Akam, and Razor with Roderick Strong, and Sanity, Eric Young, Alexander Wolf, Killian Dane. You had Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf in the cage. You had Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly in the cage, and then you had Akam and Razor in the cage. Meanwhile, you had Adam Cole, Eric Young, and Roderick Strong inside the 2 rings with the cage around it. The match had very good high spots. There was great high-flying action from the cage that was amazing. In the end, the Undisputed Era won. I really loved seeing that match. That was just really awesome to see a match come back after 2 decades. After 2 decades of matches, the last time we saw it was in WCW, and hopefully we get to see it again someday. Oh, that's Great Khali. I was wondering if that was Alberto Del Rio or Great Khali. I didn't know, but it's Shield versus Great Khali at the Royal Rumble. Inside the Royal Rumble match is Great Khali's dominating the match, even though Roman Reigns is going to eliminate him. Why am I yawning? I don't know. Number 4, this was a dream match, and I was upset about what happened at TLC, but the match was amazing. Balor versus AJ Styles at TLC. Now, the real match was supposed to be Sister Abigail, Bray Wyatt, versus the Demon King, Finn Balor. The two demons inside of both men were going to collide at TLC. Then Bray Wyatt got sick along with Roman Reigns, so Kurt Angle replaced Roman Reigns, and that was announced as soon as Roman Reigns was announced he wasn't going to be at the event. And then a few hours later, we saw that AJ Styles was going to place Bray Wyatt and fight Finn Balor at TLC, and that match was incredible. That match was insane. They both were going back and forth against each other. They both started hitting their finishers. They both started hitting high-flying moves. Balor hit the coup de grace in 1916. AJ Styles hit the phenomenal forearm. His styles clash. But in the end, Finn Balor won. Again, it was a Raw versus SmackDown match. Raw won that time. But in the end, was the greatest ending to a match. It was the Too Sweet. They both Too Sweeted at the end of the match. And I really couldn't believe what happened. And I almost thought there was going to be like a Bullet Club reunion between Gallows, Anderson, Balor, and AJ Styles. And then when Adam Cole came on to the main roster, all of a sudden we see Adam Cole and Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. And then we'd see the Bullet Club. And then, but it was just a really great match. I really enjoyed seeing it. And maybe I'll watch it after I see this Royal Rumble. Speaking of Royal Rumble, number 3, John Cena versus AJ Styles. The greatest match to happen this year was in the beginning of the year between John Cena and AJ Styles. That match never left the ring. That match was inside the ring, on the apron, on the ropes, on the top rope, and that match was just amazing. Those guys gave it their all, but in the end, John Cena, this is why it's at number 3, he made his 16th World Championship, the moment I've been waiting for ever since he won his 15th World title at Money in the Bank 2014 when he won the ladder match against Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, Kane, Bray Wyatt, and Antonio Cesaro. And that match was great between Cena and AJ. That was actually the match I was waiting for because that Money in the Bank, that match wasn't fair between John Cena and AJ. At SummerSlam was kind of not fair. That match stayed alive. There was no interference, no cheating, no nothing. That match was actually completely fair, and that was actually the dream match I was waiting for. And I hope that there will be more dream matches yet to come, maybe like Cena versus Undertaker at Mania. We never know until later this year. Or we can wait for 17 more days for the Rumble and see if there's any great match that's going to happen. Probably the Triple Threat. Or the Women's Rumble. Hopefully the Women's Rumble does really great. Number 2, the Shield reunion. These two are everyone's top 3. At least. Everyone's top 3. If it's not in your top 3, you should be ashamed of yourself. Because these moments were the greatest moments in 2017. And you can't argue with it. Like, I know you can't argue with it. If you argue with it, I don't know what's wrong with you. Shield reunion. Seth, Dean, and Roman. They had this stuff going with The Miz and The Miz Taraj. It had everybody up on their feet. See Roman Reigns come out and say who said anything about rumors. Then you see Dean Ambrose come out, and then you see Seth Rollins come out, and then you see The Miz Taraj, and The Bar be beaten down by Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns, and everybody was so happy to see the Shield back. I was so happy to see the Shield back after like 3 years of backstabbing, of brawls between each other. Like, don't get me wrong, their matches, Dean and Seth's matches against each other were great. So was that triple threat battleground for the WWE World Heavyweight Title between Seth, Dean, and Roman. That was actually a really great match. The Money in the Bank match, when Dean came in and cashed in after he won the match. To see that match, that was actually one of the greatest matches of 2016 between Seth and Roman, and then to see Dean come in and cash in for the title was amazing. But Seth, Dean, and Roman deserved to come back, and it was one of the greatest things to see. I know they were building up to it, and I kind of didn't see it coming, even though a lot of people saw it coming. And I'm just really happy that it happened. If it didn't happen sooner or later, it probably would have upset a lot of the WWE Universe. As El Torito comes out at number 20. Surprisingly, because this guy was funny. I wanted El Torito to stay, even though Hornswoggle left WWE. Alright, number 1. So we're going to go down the other 10 items that went down the list. We have number 11, Woken Matt Hardy. Sami Zayn's heel turn at number 10. We have number 9, Authors of Pain vs. Sanity, and Bobby Roode vs. Drew McIntyre for the NXT title and the NXT Tag Team titles. And NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3. Triple H vs. Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 33. John Cena vs. Roman Reigns, War of Words. Adam Cole's debut, War Games match at NXT Takeover War Games. Balor vs. Styles at TLC. John Cena vs. AJ Styles at the Rumble. The Shield reunion. And number 1 is, everyone should notice, the Hardy Boys. Now, I'm going to tell a backstory to this. When I was watching in 2008, 2009, when Jeff and Matt were having their rivalry after Jeff won the WWE title, Matt lost the ECW title, Jack Swagger and Jeff won it from Edge and Triple H at Armageddon, and then had to defend it at the Rumble, and then you see Jeff and Matt had their rivalry, and then Jeff went on to win the World Heavyweight title from Edge, and then CM Punk and Jeff had their rivalry, and then it was after Night of Champions. No, it was not after Night of Champions. It was after SummerSlam. It was the TLC match. Jeff Hardy lost the World Heavyweight title to CM Punk that night. And that was also the start of the Undertaker CM Punk feud in 2009, when CM Punk was going straight edge society, going all crazy. And Jeff Hardy had to leave after losing a steel cage match against Punk, and I cried. Like, that was a really upsetting moment in WWE, and I really didn't want Jeff to go. And then I follow these words every time I see a person, and I feel like I'm not going to see them again for like a long, long time. I say, this is not goodbye forever, this is only goodbye for now. That's what Jeff said in 2009. And I still really cry because I thought Jeff would never come back. I thought he'd go to TNA and just never come back to WWE. And then Matt Hardy left in 2010, late 2010, like right around the Nexus time. And that was really upsetting to see Matt go too. I saw a lot of promise for Matt, and I saw a lot of promise for Jeff if Jeff didn't leave. And then just to see the Hardy Boys return made me cry tears of joy. Like, I really loved seeing Matt and Jeff come back. even though nobody knew about it. Everybody was thinking, oh, yeah, the Hardy Boys are going to come back in WrestleMania 33. I didn't see it coming. I didn't even know the Hardy Boys were going to return. I didn't see any rumors about it. But that match was incredible. And between the Hardy Boys winning tag team titles, which means Jeff Hardy is no longer winless at WrestleMania, because Jeff Hardy was winless at WrestleMania because every other WrestleMania he fought in, he lost. Whether it was the Money in the Bank ladder match, whether it was TLC matches against the Dudleys and the Hardys and the Edge and Christian, whether it was his match against Matt Hardy, but he lost every other match that he was in. Matt has won a couple at Mania, including beating Jeff, and then Jeff finally got his first win with the tag team titles around his shoulder, along with Matt, and it was a great reunion to see. I was really happy to see the Hardy Boys back, and it was the greatest moment of 2017. And I hope 2018 brings a lot of great memories. I mean, 2018's already had Omega and Jericho. Jericho and Omega are my number one right now in moments of 2018 in wrestling, and hopefully maybe we'll see Omega in the Rumble. We never know. I mean, there's been rumors of Punk, Mysterio, Batista, Omega, Adam Cole coming into the Rumble, Drew McIntyre, Jeff coming back in there, Big Cass coming back in there. But we never know until we see the Rumble. So stay tuned to the Rumble. I'll have predictions come up there right around the 26th, 25th, 27th for the Rumble after all the matches are confirmed. And that's all I have for you guys. So like this video, leave a comment, subscribe for more. Until next time, I'll see all you guys later.